Let's get more on this now. talkSPORT Fight Night host Adam Catterall, I'm delighted to say, is with us now. Adam, good morning. What do you make of that outburst from Tyson?
He knows how to stir the pot, the big boy, doesn't he, eh? That's what we like to see.
Is he overdoing it?
No, I don't think he's overdoing it. I think he's a little bit frustrated because he wants solidity. He wants to know who he's fighting and when he's fighting him. So I get his frustrations. But, boys, you've been here a million times before. Boxing's never straightforward. There's always politics. There's always backs and forth here, there and everywhere, and people wanting their slice of the pie. I imagine that it will be concluded at some point this week. So hopefully Mr. Fury will get his answer and we can all move forward.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, I saw you over the weekend and you were pushing this. You think it's in the best interest of everybody that this is indeed the scenario. AJ steps aside to allow Fury to have a go at Usyk.
Yeah, I think from a sporting point of view, every single fan here wants to see the Undisputed Championship of the World on the line. We haven't had a heavyweight Undisputed Champion since 1999. That was Lennox Lewis. We've got a great opportunity now. We've got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. It is the final. We've seen a couple of semi-finals. We've enjoyed them, no doubt about that. But this is the final, and we want to see that fight on. So if we can get that fight on, then I think we should be pushing in order to do it. That's from a sporting point of view. From Anthony Joshua's point of view, he's proactively said that he's tweaking his training camp. Is that enough time for him to get ready for a second fight with Alexander Usyk straight away? I personally don't think it is. Listen, I might be wrong, but I personally don't think it is. So if someone's offering him the best part of 10, 15 million quid to delay his opportunity at becoming the Undisputed Champion, and that's what it is, because he's the kingmaker here. He can turn around to people and say, listen, all right, yeah, I'll step aside, but I'm getting the first dibs. There's no rematch in the Fury-Usyk fight, so I'm getting first dibs at whoever wins that, and I'm fighting for all the belts.
How's he the kingmaker? He's the only one without a belt.
Because he's the biggest draw in the division still. Nobody's making as
Well, he
much
won't be if he steps aside, because people will see him for what he is.
Why will they?
Because what he's doing is stepping away from going back and doing what he always says he does, which is get his titles back at the first available opportunity. He's doing what most great champions don't do, which is step away from a rematch. When Lewis loses to Rackman, the next fight he takes is Rackman.
Yeah, but this is completely different, isn't it? Rackman is not Alexander Usyk. We've got a situation
because he gets beat by Usyk and everyone knows it.
Well, okay, maybe so. But therefore, his rhetoric for the last God knows how long, Anthony Joshua, has been the road to undisputed. The best road for undisputed for him is to step aside, take the money that is on offer to him, get himself ready, maybe even take an interim fight and get himself ready with his brand spanking new training team to take on the winner of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. There's more money on the pot for that fight.
He loses his world title.
Yep.
Backs away from fighting the guy that he's beat, and he then gets an opportunity to fight for the undisputed. And you think that's right?
I think that's right for boxing, yeah. Right now I do, yeah.
And that's merit-based, is it? He loses to Usyk.
No,
he backs away from fighting
Simon,
Usyk, and then he gets an opportunity to be the undisputed.
Simon, we've got a situation that we've got to deal with this situation right now. Personally, I don't think there should have been a rematch clause in the Usyk-AJ fight. It should have been a one-hitter-quitter. At the end of the day, Usyk won that fight. We should now be in a process of purely talking about Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury.
So he has his cake and eats it, right? So
it's not his cake, though.
Well, hang on, you just said he's the kingmaker. He puts a rematch clause in.
He is the kingmaker.
He puts the rematch clause in there to suit his ends. Then he opts out of the rematch clause.
He didn't do that.
Well, yes, I understand that, but he put a rematch clause in there to protect himself. Now he backs away from the rematch clause because it doesn't suit him, and then you're saying he gets an opportunity to fight for the undisputed without the merit of having done that.
Well, what I'm saying is, I personally believe that Anthony Joshua wants the Usyk fight. I don't think he wants to back away. This is why we're in this situation now and why it's taken so long. His team, who were there to advise him... He
ignores his team. He goes into a fight with Rob McCracken giving him
one set of advice. Then. You're his manager. You're his manager. What would you advise him to do?
I would do what the fighter wants to do within reason. He's at a stage in
his career. No, you wouldn't. You're his manager. What would you advise him to do?
Hang on, Adam. You can't ask me a question and answer it for me, can you? If you want me to answer the question, if I was his manager, I would ask the fighter what he really wanted to do. What he really wanted to do, because it's his career. Anthony Joshua will tell the world, as he has just done, that he's in control of his business. He's in control of what he wants. He knows his own mind. So I would hear it from him. I would give him my advice about what I thought from a commercial landscape. I'd give him my advice of what I thought from a gladiatorial landscape. And I'd let the fighter, who extols to the world that he controls his business, what he wants to do.
Adam, what I can tell you is I've just had a message. I just took myself out a shot and had a listen. The talks are ongoing. We should know in the matter of a few hours. So it is indeed the crucial day today. We will know if Joshua's going to step aside, which allows Fury to fight Usyk. What's your gut instinct?
Feel,
You know all the main protagonists in this, Adam. I know you do. What's your guess in it?
I know that, like I just said to Simon there, Anthony Joshua's team want him to take the option that I want him to take. He wants to fight. So it's going to be a case of whether they can convince him to obviously take the step aside money, maybe take an interim fight, and then become, get himself an opportunity to fight for the Undisputed Championship of the World once Fury and Usyk is dealt with at some point this year.
Do you think, Adam, on either one of those opportunities, let's say he doesn't step aside and he fights Usyk, or let's say he does step aside and he ends up fighting Fury, does he win either of those fights?
If I'm honest, I don't think he does now.
I'm in the same place.
I would pay money to watch Catterall against Jordan. I'd be ringside for that, I must say.
Listen, he's as passionate as me about it.
I would lose in this instance.
Not at all.
Adam, what we also know is, and it was with great pleasure that we announced this on talkSPORT, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, long-awaited grudge match, and of course talkSPORT will be all over it. You will be all over it, of course, with people like Gareth A. Davis, Spencer Oliver and Andy Clark. It takes place February the 19th. Exclusive radio coverage on talkSPORT from 7:30. I mean, you've covered many a fight, my friend. I was in Dubai with you in December. I watch how you operate. You live for this sport. You must be very, very excited about what lies ahead with this one.
Absolutely. We've got two good ones. A week on Saturday, we're in Cardiff for Eubank versus Williams. That'll be great in itself because obviously Liam Williams is a Welshman and therefore the crowd will be very pro him, and Eubank's going into the lines then. It'll be a cracking atmosphere and I'm looking forward to being there for that. But then 2 weeks later we're in Manchester, as you say, for Khan versus Brook. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and con anybody and say this is elite versus elite, this is the best of the best. It is past its sell-by date a touch, but what it is a very even contest. These two gentlemen are at a very similar stage of their careers with each other.
Who wins that one?
You put me on the spot now. I've got to interview both of these guys.
You can't sit on the fence here.
I won't sit on the fence. What I will say is this: the first 4 rounds, that's how long Kell Brook's got to win the fight. He's got 4 rounds to win the fight. If he can't do it in that period of time, I think Amir Khan will stop him late. That's
so
how
who
I
wins
think
then?
this fight.
Who wins?
I would edge towards Amir Khan.
Hey, well done,
there
Adam,
you go,
Adam. Excellent stuff. I don't know if you heard, but it freaked the nation out when Simon told Kell Brook that Khan would beat him. Kell wasn't too happy about that prediction. Adam Catterall, as always, you are the best. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank you very much.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.